Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Whoops. Log in.
Hail, God.
Mom. Time to cry. Yeah, this build gonna have me be crying though. I don't know why I'm compelled to see if this goofy idea has anything to it. Cause I don't think it's goofy. But like, also it is goofy. I think the damage is real, but the playstyle is goofy, but that's always what I play. So I need to prove to myself that the damage is real, and then I don't care how goofy it is, you know? Bloop, 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 bloop. That's me. I'm just trying to get this character to like a bare minimum. Seeing what I can. I think a lot of the stuff I'm gonna take on the tree doesn't exist yet. And see how this feels. I was messing with it a little bit before I started stream, but I figured if I'm gonna do some building, there seem to be a few people interested in the building. I think that's probably good enough. You look like Elden Ring second phase of Radon as consecrated path guy. Where his if you know, you know. Because they do the teleport. So true, bestie. Thinking if there's any easier ways to get some quality of life on Warcries. Like Warcry speed and stuff without having to actually do it. But like, the cooldown time on General's Cry is insane now. Like, if you're just standing around fighting stuff in a circle type environment, it is just on, like, by the time they've teleported, you have another one ready and it doesn't consume corpses, which I always thought that it did. I mean, if you want to be a chumpo also, you can just put an automation on it. Okay, that's not the vibe. concerned that mapping will feel awful. But if the single target damage is good, then I don't care. But then you fight this one beast and it's like, is it? Your cooldown recovery is actually too fast because you actually have to wait for the ones that spawn late. Wait a second. I think I might have been totally wrong on one thing. General's Cry counts the power of corpses in range. I forgot that. Every time I start a PoE like planning stream, I start it and then I realize, wait, this whole thing might be fucking pointless. Thinking about it. Okay, it's not pointless. Because you only get 4 mirages from a desecrate. When 6 can be your max. And actually, I think you can. I don't know how worth it would be to get 7 to be your max. I don't know where I would have this Ashes of the Stars to test. Somewhere in the infinite standard stash. I feel like I could be looking for like 30 minutes. When it's probably better to just try and see if you could trade one. Dude, ain't no way. I don't even know if I actually had any in the stashes. I might have one on, like, in League that I could transfer. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much. It would probably not worth using. Oh, so what is the wait? Never mind. Infinite power node. It just makes it so that you always get the maximum number of Mirage Warriors. And then the plan is also Infernal Cry max power would always give us the maximum amount of Fizz's fire damage, and you get a ton if you buff Warcry effect. So big time Fizz's fire, ideally consecrated path to map, and then maybe Earth Shatter to boss. I'm just gonna do a ledge and see. Actually, give me the automation. The one thing I'm actually worried about with the build is it would be ideal to put automation on a Infernal Cry, and then you're just gonna like constantly. Because there's still no way to make your war cry quiet. Why is it not letting me do that? Oh, you need call to arms. Call to... Okay, no, that is quieter. They did change that. I still don't like seeing my screen, like, flash constantly. Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. It's good because the generals you summon don't move forward, and they shouldn't, I'm pretty sure, be walking forward before they attack, which is the good part. Which is the reason it's consecrated path. General's Cry is Call to Arms is not really gone, it's just reworked. It's basically still there. It'll cost some reservation, but it really doesn't matter. When the whole build is based around war crying, I'll pay the cost, you know. Oh, actually it's better next patch. That's why I can't even test it right now. It's currently Call to Arms makes all of your war cries go on cooldown, and it's not going to in the update. I think I need to find a corpse walker and see how it... I mean, that's something I don't think I'm going to be able to find either. It's hard to even just find every single unique tab. I know I have one. I don't think it's in a unique tab though. I don't think you get the buff anymore. It does. What the fuck? What is the point of that skill? It's just to exert? That's okay. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. Then I would Infernal Cry increase duration on a different... Which honestly, I think I'd be happier pressing the button so my screen isn't perma-flashing. Though then you definitely do scream every time. Let me make sure Infernal Cry's duration didn't go down or something weird. It now has a base duration of 2.5 seconds, scaling up to 3.4 4 seconds. Previously 5.9. What the fuck? Who cares? It's so hard to test all those weird, quirky things right now. I think there's buff duration on some of these Warcry nodes. Yeah, these two get 15%. And if it's really bad, then you'd have to take those, which is a shame. For these, those have Warcry 20%. 10%, 15, it should be fine with a more duration and yeah. Like 10 seconds, that'll be fine. This is a pretty you're not like manually selecting targets. I've got plenty of buttons to press. Okay. I've never played a General's Cry before either, but I've always kind of wanted to. So this is like the... Perhaps I finally do it. But man, every time a rare comes up right now... Even if it was dealing double damage, this is a surprisingly low amount of damage. For what level? This character's level 80. Doesn't really have the best weapon, but like, yeah, it's basically a 4-link and level 3 gem, so it's like I would have expected things to die more. Is often the case. My leaf slam fucking kills him. Does Infernal Cry still apply Ash? Nope. Nope, it does not. And one big shitty point, like these are actually targeting pretty badly. For being instant teleport to an enemy. They all like go after the same guy. And you can't put multi-strike on him, otherwise I would give him flicker. And they don't use Herald of Ash on kill. I don't even think Gravebind would do that. Because Gravebind lies to you. I'm gonna like pretend it would be so nice if I had one consolidated unique tab in standard. That would be freaking awesome. I've tried to do it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that does not work. Because it's nearby enemies killed by anyone count as being killed by you instead. And you kill on kill you Herald of Ash, but for some reason I don't know the logic on that one. Yeah, like they all just slammed straight down. So maybe Volcanic Fissure will be better. Dude, I had Corpse Walker in my inventory. I thought that was the other boot. Fuck. Well. I might have to get a volcanic fissure of snaking and try that. I think part of it might too. I was trying Warden's brand. So maybe the consecrated path attack speed is yeah, actually, because I can Warcry so fast, I'm sure that is fucking me up. Because unfortunately, General's Cry boys, they appear like staggered rather than all at once. And then if you do it again, you overwrite them. Let me make sure they spawn and they instantly attack. I need to see if can anyone simplify this and give me a volcanic fissure of snaking on standard, or am I gonna try and trade people on standard? Is this PoE 1 or 2? PoE 2 is not out until at least November. There's no way anyone is gonna trade on standard. I'm trying to give 2 divines for a fucking Jeff. Let's go. Weep. Okay. Annoyingly, all of the ones I tried to trade for were not corrupted. They all had quality, but okay. So it would have +1 snake. +1 snake. But I still think, as far as map clear, I don't think you're gonna get better than that, actually. Because Consecrated Path kind of sucks. Oh yeah, it killed shit like a screen away. And the damage looks higher because it's actually a level 20 gem. Okay. I think this like clears up my uncertainty about its mapping potential. It's kind of ridiculous. Volcanic Fissure of Snaking was scaling up to 318%, previously 185. So, pretty decent. I think you shouldn't need more than that for mapping, and if we actually like do a boss, I can gem swap to probably Earth Shatter. Yeah, this skill is fucking nuts. It also doesn't have the +1 chain. Like, it would chain an additional time and maybe even go a full other screen. Real-time waiting mechanics for PoE 2? I don't know. I mean, I haven't actually, like, in the interview, they acted like there was negative reception to it. I haven't actually seen any, though. I think it was, like, their own paranoia of, like, people are going to. I think it looks sick. I'm freaking down, dude. Okay, so we're getting... One sec. Reviewing the notes. General Cry Chieftan. We get infinite power. We get 95% buff effect. We don't need Red Blade Banner for infinite Warcry power, so we get to do more damage with General's Cry than you normally would. Because normally all General's Cry builds were Red Blade Banner. Infernal Cry gives us 48% Physis Fire, which it couldn't do before. We can't automate it. That's fine. 10 seconds. Herald of Ash got buffed for another 5%, gives us 68% Physis Fire. Just General's Cry in general. General's Cry has gotten buffed a lot recently. So the cooldown is crazy. The cooldown is like too short. I could probably remove some nodes. It's like unnecessary. And the one Mirage from quality is interesting. If we get like an Ashes of the Star, maybe you can get +1 Mirage. I don't think that'll be worth it either, though. General's Cry did get nerfed, but I think it has to when every single melee ability got so much stronger that it makes sense that it lost some damage, and I don't think that that's a very big deal. Rare jewels can have max fire resistance. Also, there is more fire resistance on the tree in the next patch. I didn't see this in the notes, but on the thing here, right after you leave, there's fire resistance, max fire on Chieftain. That's like super accessible, and you still have the one down here, which is the max fire. So you get like 85% max fire res from tree, even before considering jewels. I was thinking about they get War's Herald, which I was thinking of in between General's Cries because it's such a clunky build that maybe I could also have the Retaliate Fist like smash on my chest armor. So like I would General's Cry whenever that's active, do my own slam. I don't know, that's kind of like a quirky, I don't know if that's worth it kind of thing. But I want to consider it. They haven't shown Crushing Fist yet, so I have no idea what it even does. Otherwise, sadly, I think I'd have to take like this node, which realistically isn't that bad. Everything else is useless. I can't benefit from the explode node because it's not me killing them unless I use Gravebind, and that's a waste. Like all that extra strength, I don't think there's anything strength scaling that I can use. Like lead sprinkler and all the strength stacking shit is a one-hander, and I don't want to do that. The whole point was that I could use a two-hander. And I'm doing fizz to fire, so strength stacking added fire wouldn't help. So I don't know, Chad, if you know anything that I've never done. Well, I did one strength stack build. It was a long time ago on a cultist. So it was kind of weird. Otherwise, this node is so fucking dumb. And then this node, so dumb. And General's Cry cannot use Ancestral Call or Fist of War. So that doesn't help that. And like, that's why I was considering doing the Retaliate thing. I think we'll have the ability to have like another 6-link if we're doing a 2-hander. And that's the plan. What was the other note? Yeah, I wrote that there. That's, I don't know, just tons of fizzes fire. Big boy. Now I need to prove that it deals damage. Because if I throw some shit on here and it's like 100k damage, I'm gonna poo myself. I wanted to try... Maybe 2 Warden rings and see how bad the insanely slow attack speed is. If we were to use the Urky. No. Use a different skill so that my screen isn't totally cluttered. We can see how long that takes them. Oh, I have Corpse Walker on. It takes them too long. I could have summoned a whole other wave by the time these are done swinging. Though, dude, Warden's Band is a lot of fucking damage. Especially with all the Fist of Fire we're gonna have. Especially for mapping, because they only really need to attack once per, like, screen. They're too slow. They're way too slow. One was fine. 2 is way too slow. Earthshatter Chieftain? We might do Earthshatter for bosses. Earthshatter is pretty goofy. I'm sad Earthshatter of Prominence is, like, the initial hit can't hit enemies. It has like a 1 pixel hitbox. Feeling chunky? Kinda chunky. But yeah, it's really stinky for mapping because they have to walk up an attack. So it's definitely fissure for mapping. I don't think Corpse Walker is worth it. Let me see how many I summon right here. Yeah, I got two guys when I can have 6. I would rather just treat Desecrate as a, like, casting a Warcry. and get all the boys out at like per pack. By minion speed? No, they don't count as minions. I was actually considering doing Defiance Banner because it gives 8% move speed per Valor. But that's like such a quirky, unnecessary thing. But even if they had crazy move speed, they would still just... It would still be so slow to walk up and Earth Shatter with how often I can summon. Like, they already... If you give them Flicker Strike, I can still Warcry before they've attacked. So I suppose, like, them having attack speed is actually important. I love a good old Blood Aqueduct run by. The Warden's ban is 30% reduced, and wearing one of them felt okay. If we have crazy high fizz damage on the hammer, we can get all the fizzes fire. Let me see if I can't find one. Find someone willing to trade one. I'll just default assume nobody is on standard. Are these, I might be looking at legacy ones. Hold up. Yeah, they don't have freaking pulverize on them anymore. I just want a normal one. But like, again, with it being standard, the only ones I'm gonna get. Bro, what? Yeah, like 24 mirrors for the... Please. My hero. Oh, this thing is gonna benefit from the quality change like crazy too. Yeah. I feel like they might be a pain to get early league, given that though. Let's see how goddamn slow this is. Yeah. If I can get any way to trigger Desecrate, I'd rather have that than Corpse Walker. My Twitch plugin not work? Yeah, it's set up for my other channel. I don't know about this. Like, as a league start, I feel so excessively slow. When you could totally just like be on a cultist shield charging through maps as they explode. Like, I have nothing equipped except that to see hit DPS 200,000 is pretty promising. That's Earth Shatter without the spikes blowing up, so it's more like 400,000 just a weapon. I have an Awakened Gem. I'm gonna put Consecrated Path on just to see like a general DPS. Also, I'm assuming because it says 6 Mirage Warriors attacking that it is actually counting, and I'm not supposed to be adding counts. I almost like just seeing that damage, I'm already convinced before I even have to like figure out what all the other random shit would be. But now I just know I'm gonna be slow as shit. I'm gonna be stinky, slow. Yeah, see, Ashes of the Stars is 22% deeps. Just to get +1 Mirage. That's funny. I think they're still gonna be too staggered to matter. Yup. What's my... and then this is also without the melee buff on damage percentage. I don't know how to do that. I know you can like edit the POB file and like set it correctly. Our Consecrated Path is at 230. I feel like a legit way to figure this out that could actually be helpful is do Heavy Strike. Wait, no, Heavy Strike has Bone Shatter of Trauma of Carnage, so it has no trauma stacks. And that is how much effectiveness? 283 at gem level 40. Gem level 40 is still 390. A lot of the melee gems are fucking more than that. Yeah, dude, this is 1,000,000 DPS with a hammer on. So it's probably gonna be pretty good. And also only 90 skill points. I didn't put like life in, I think. I mean, I still had to spend a whole bunch on War Cry nonsense. With I should have like %86% all resistance.
Gift for joy.
Gift for joy. And we still have essentially the other free ascendancy node. Unless we actually do end up using the retaliate, which seems wasteful. I mean, generally speaking, Chieftain seems wasteful. Fuck Chieftain, dude. I mean, if it was League Start, it would have to be, but all I really want is the War Cries have infinite power. And then, like, it's the exact same thing Chieftain has been since the rework, is it would be better to be another character and then just take this with Forbidden Flames. Because the resistance is, like... I think it got better because you got the nodes on the tree and it's easier to get. But the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dude, Warden's got 9 notables. Warden is out here with 9 notables. Makes a difference when the remaining 3 here are like not helpful. At best, let me get a rare jewel. With dude, I don't know, what would my jewels even have? Attack speed? I think that's the other type of jewel because I picked cobalt. It really doesn't matter. I just want to see how much strength that I could realistically get from one jewel. Oh, does POB not even do that yet? POB does not do that. How? How in 2024? Nobody wants this node, so they don't even care. Alright, time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's just assume 20. Which would 20 times 3, 60. God damn, Chieftain, you're so close to being fucking selectable. And it's actually worse now. It is actually worse than it was before. That this makes, it turns your physical nodes into fire nodes because it's easier to scale Fizz as fire than it is to scale just flat fire. So this effectively debuffs you. Oh, weird. It's not counting the nodes, but it is calcing the damage increase from the increased strength, I assume. 57 life. 10% full deeps. Why is that 10% full damage? Oh, I know one reason. Because it was proccing the magnate. Okay, that's more like a 2.2% full damage. But like, I may need it if I was gonna use magnate. I don't even think like, who cares? It's a decent league start thing. Any interesting uniques I'm looking for in this build? I don't think so. I don't think there's a decent Warcry unique. It's pretty much just Marohi Orki is super big slam. Probably gonna be crazy expensive. And it gives minus fire resistance. I don't feel like fucking with that. Everything strength stacking is flat fire and I don't want it. The real thing I'm debating is just that, like, this node is not good. This node is useless. This node doesn't work. This node doesn't work. The only way this works is the idea I had where I have the Crushing Fist Retaliate gem, and then I'm able to use... But we haven't seen Crushing Fist and how good it is. I think it's going to be worth it. Like, because Retaliates aren't set up to be a main skill, and a Marohi, I don't want to use it often in the first place. But also, the time I spend Fist of Warring, I don't think I'm stun immune. I don't think I'm going to be stun immune. I mean, I can take Unwavering Stance, but I probably shouldn't, just so that I can stand still and with a fucking reduced attack speed Fist of War a retaliate skill. Percent physical damage as extra fire damage. What is happening? Now it's being really weird. Like my damage just disappeared. Missing of. Oh. Magnetic. This thing just turned off. Which is fine, because it won't always be on, but I don't know why it just like suddenly disabled. When it wasn't a second ago. There's no applying ash to enemies. I think it is actually, we will have 10 seconds of affected by a war cry buff because our infernal cry is going to last for 10 seconds. We have at least 2 war cries used recently. I'd even say, I'm just gonna say 2. I'm gonna assume magmatic is not active. I feel like we lost damage. This would be 53 of what we're missing. I think it's because I turned Infernal Cry off because we're not actually getting enemies covered in ash. So isn't there an ash ring? Again, that's hard to get on League Start. It's probably just Steel Ring. Also, Kalandra ring thing is back. So maybe you can get like a super buff steel ring. Weird. I don't think Ruthless works on General's Cry. I don't know why it doesn't know that. Stupid program. You goddamn stupid program. I don't know. And then we would have Enduring Cry, so we would realistically have... Wait, how does Call to Arms work now? Oh yeah, that was only exerts. Okay, so I guess that's not realistic. Just thinking if there's any like major quality of life or damage thing that I'm not taking advantage of that I'm not thinking of. Like some weird Warcry benefit that's new, or like these are changed, that doesn't matter. All of the Warcry stuff is irrelevant, because it's all like shields and one-handed stuff. Yeah. I think a Warcry cluster jewel is pretty good, but I feel spread thin already. War Banner, the new War Banner probably goes pretty hard. I think I like the idea of this, but I'm starting to think it's just not good enough for how slow it is, even with like double damage. Oh, and also we hadn't considered, like, I'm starting to see all the downsides as I go through this. This is General's Cry. Supported skills have 36% less damage. Yeah, they nerfed it. Let's get that down to 50. %51 less damage. Dude, does I can't get it to go that low. At level 1. At level 1, it will be 60% less damage in the patch. That is a difference of 770,000. 900,000. I think that's killing it. I think it's fucking dead, dude. Unless the Earth Shatter overlaps are actually that good on a boss. That is also quite hard to see the damage effectiveness. You're trying to simulate with... I mean, I guess you could just straight up double the DPS if it was Earth Shatter. Because you would get the initial hit and the explosions, which I think it would be more than double. It would still be more than that. I don't know, dude. It's cooked. GG, that was the stream. Well, that's like, man, if you're still doing like blade flurry gimmicks, which I can't do with this setup anyway. I don't even want to do it. Is there another channeled thing I can look at, like charged dash? I think is awkward. I don't even know if like POB is... And then I don't want them channeling, I just want them to respawn. I'm curious how it's even calculating the DPS of how many generals it's assuming are being summoned based on cooldown, because I believe cooldown is giving it damage. Like this node. Where is it? Whoops. It's assuming my DPS goes up 18% when I have this much more cooldown. I think that's also bullshit because you have to wait for every single one of them to spawn. So I think it's just like assuming like perfect summon rates. Is there any weird strength stacking thing that is not a one-handed weapon? And that is not replica Alberons. Because goddamn, it's gonna be Alberons in it. So they nerfed Iron Fortress too, I think. Good stream. Just thinking if there's anything I'm forgetting. I thought this was gonna take... I thought I was gonna like fully flesh it out. But it's not looking like it's worth fleshing out. Yes, it's even worse than this. And then Chieftain's final node not being good feels bad. Frick, dude! Give me an ancestor totem so I can pretend that I have a banner. Fuck, dude. The sad music, too. Man, I don't think this chieftain's gonna be very good. Oh, for some reason that got unticked. That's where the damage went. Okay, hold up. It's also so awkward that Avatar fires 50% and then the fire node is 40%. It's like we're probably going to be using Volcanic of Snaking a lot of the time, but Earth Shatter was the second plan, so we probably should take Avatar of Fire. The defense ones? Yeah, I think banners for defense are like a entirely flawed concept. Because like, it doesn't have 100% uptime, and if you're fighting a boss, you need to ramp up hitting the boss with melee attacks to put a banner down, which will give you defense. So you already got to be hitting the boss at melee range before you have the defense from it in order to get the Valor. This doesn't make any sense. Like, the one node that helps is... I think it's a mastery. Gain 5 Valor when you Warcry, which would be decent for this build, so I could get, like, Valor pretty consistently, because obviously I'm General's Crying constantly. Which I think is also... Let me relook at War Banner. But, like, let's just say that I have 20%, 24% more physical damage because of that. Actually, I'm gonna, like, super low ball it and give it 18. Five autocast Warcries. The autocast Warcries kind of suck now. But I'm going to be casting Infernal Cry myself, and I'm going to be casting General's Cry like every 2 seconds. So I should pretty much always have a max banner when I need it. Blip. Bloop. Blorp. Bleep blorp blorp. Isn't there another fire damage? I at least need... I don't know, like... It's on a league start, I'm gonna have like all the time to fiddle with the individual skills and items. I'm still like 1.2 million. I have steel rings and the Marohi on. Though the Marohi's gonna take time to get. I feel like by the time I can afford it, I'm gonna be like, fuck this character. This character fucking sucks. That's the risk. This is a pretty well rolled two-handed mace. It's minus 30% damage. And that's really hard to say if that's actually true because of the faster attack rate, which I don't think it's like comprehending that I need to wait for the boys to finish slamming before I can summon new boys. I think it's just calculating my actual cooldown recovery rate of the Warcry itself, which is way shorter than it takes them to attack. Gonna do another... What uniques are the best? Oh! No tincture. Tincture is definitely, like, addable. Do they have tinctures in here? I guess not. Guess not. Base. Base. Tincture would be probably like... I don't know, just like 100% physical at best. I feel like a lot of them are on hit effects that I... What the fuck? Get the fuck... What the... No! That doesn't help my build. Okay, how much... I like gave myself strength. How much strength do I have normally? 286. I mean, I think we could pretty reasonably... at least have 300 for the magnet on launch. Sorry for ducks. Hey, you know, we all got a good look. Zoff's heart. True. This build, here's what's going on. This build feels like melee wasn't buffed. These damage numbers are like what it would look like if melee wasn't stronger. So I almost feel like I'm playing a, I don't know, to put it like a vanilla build. There's so much strong stuff you can take advantage of now. You can take advantage of rage. I can't. I don't actually hit. You take advantage of Warcry buff effect. That's the one thing I'm getting, which is giving me a lot of fizz as extra fire, which is calculated in here. So do I just like legit need the representation of like gloves with fizz damage on them? It's just 2% damage. Because my suffixes are free, I actually could totally get the 400 strength for Magnate. But I would have expected those gloves to add more than 2% damage. I guess it's just 6 to 10. Fuck, dude. I don't get Fortify. I don't get Rage. Is the totem turned on? Oh no, instead of the totem, I just had more damage typed in. Assuming I have a banner. I don't get the AoE explosions of Herald of Ash. And of all the melee stuff, General's Cry is minus 15% damage. Which didn't feel like it would be as big of a problem. Yeah, like we put General's Cry to level 20. It feels so much better. I feel like we throw a POB together real quick of the Charge Dash Warden. I'm gonna do that. Let's throw together like the shittiest, quickest Charge Dash Warden. All of our assumptions. And then when it also says like 1,000,000 DPS, then we'll know for sure that General's Cry is stinky. Warden skills, new charged dash. You can't even get this thing to say how much damage it's gonna do. Effectiveness of added damage at gem level 40 is 142. It's going to have 264%. How do I represent that in my POB? Is that just 100% more damage that I write? And that is like, does that translate? Because this doesn't let you break the 40 cap. That's insane though. Man, POB would really benefit from just a way to simply like click on a skill gem somehow and reset the effective added damage, because every patch with all of the new transfigured gems, I keep like every single new league is this issue. Let's see if there's like a Google. Someone in Google can tell me. There's a post from 4 years ago. Okay, yeah. I just wasn't sure if the math was like that. It legit just is. It would be about 110% more damage. After. It would be 110% more damage after Charge Dash is a level 40 gem. That sounds a lot better than General's Cry. Let me do the skill tree before the support gems so it like calcs them a little bit better. We would be a Warden. There's still no clarification on how Oath of Spring works, which is the big thing on this character. I'm seeing a lot of people, like a legitimately lot of people building Lightning Strike Warden, which I feel like I'm very adjacent to, which is the concerning part of shit's gonna get like real expensive. I even think I ignore Avatar the Wilds and get Bark Skin. Because they nerfed Determination and Grace so much, like Okay. I don't know. I don't think many people are gonna use it. Even then, I think it's better to not use it now that they does like crazy high flat lightning damage, but because of the physical damage scaling on changes, I think it's better to just like assume a bare minimum rare claw. Which like I'm not three. I hate crafting melee weapons so much. See, I already feel like a 300 DPS Fizz Claw is already like, I'm expecting too much, and it's such a basic thing. Tier 4 Fizz. Surely I can get my hand on a tier 4 Fizz Claw early. Surely. We all want attack speed doubled when dual wielding. A better one with essence. I also think that gambling might help for the tavern. I still am gonna assume a bad one until we get things set up more clearly. I mean, if I'm including all of the things, so it has crit chance, attack speed, added fizz, and percent fizz is more like you could definitely get a tier 2 fizz, but not all of those. I need to see how far over you have to go to get rage. It's like, I don't know if coming this way is a good idea when claws are ideal. And Nightblade still has not gotten nerfed. I guess I'm not guaranteed to be elusive because I'm not a freaking assassin boy. Wait, no, this thing grants elusive, but it's been a while. It does it all. You don't have to do anything. What am I talking about? Still feels spread. I think just because you're here, Valor time. And based on the mechanics I want to do, fucking Valor time. I don't know. There's so many things you'd have to set up. New war banner. I'm not gonna go that deep into it. I'm just gonna pretend that we have a totem again because they're more equivalent to that. I kind of want to say fuck it to claws. I don't like going up top right. I feel like everything gets easier if I don't. But also, it's charge dash. The lightning shit is up here. I really just don't want to build energy shield. I feel like melee league, I want to fucking melee something. I want to come over here and I want to get some goddamn rage. Let's I hold on. I have to take the tincture stuff. It's unclear how many of the masteries I'm gonna need. And then there's where the crazy warden part is that it's, I believe, 165% increased elemental damage times 2 for 2 tinctures that we're gonna equip. And then like bare minimum, they could have crit multi on them. 65% of 25. So that is a lot. That is a lot of fucking stats. Holy shit. Still 9% unreserved mana, which is probably where I'm gonna have to keep it because we're gonna have mana burn and it's too hard to plan how much that's actually gonna affect you. Charge dash doesn't cost a lot of mana, which is one of the reasons I want to try it. Like even taking these nodes, because you're probably gonna want to get the reservation mastery anyway, and then 2 mana per hit is probably like near infinite sustain with mana rings. I don't think I noticed these. I might not have I might even have a more tincture effect than I thought I was going to. Boat League! Dude, I'm freaking boating! The other thing too is you should be able to 100% sustain a flask with 2 tinctures. I don't know what flask that would be, but it's very reasonable to go into add a flask and just have it on. feel like I would want it to be a defensive one. Oh, to be honest. There's a lot less. Grace got worse, so maybe Stimonite Flask is the way. Might even be able to full sustain like another one as well. Because it would be health potion, 2 tinctures, and then the tinctures can adjacent to tincture gain 2 charges when you hit an enemy with a melee weapon. So yeah, both of them would get, no, one of them would get, I don't think it would double stack because it says no more than once. So both would be gaining 2. Okay. Maybe with like belt with flask charges gained, you could keep it up. Those are useless. Those are insane. How much percent conversion is charge dash? I think it's 50. So I think I need a lightning node. Man, I'm remember like thought they had like a lightning attack node they added around here. But I must be thinking of that. I don't know that I need conversion, actually. Do I even give a shit? Not fizz to lightning. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting some like majorly big things. Could be at 80,000 DPS, or excuse me, 56,000 DPS. The enemy shock thing, which is the big question mark. Let me assume a safe 50% of shock effect. I think even 60 is... I'm gonna say 50. I'm also going to assume plus 2,000 accuracy. That we have solved accuracy. Blue, 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 blue. Here, the other thing, replica heat shiver. Still don't know if this will work. 1% of lightning damage as extra cold damage per 2% shock effect on enemy. Don't know if it's counting it as the enemy having additive shock effect on them with the new node or not. That's kind of important. For a league start, you probably need to go the other way and actually just get Trinity. Is bleed melee log in? It should be really good. Be acceptably good. I think you could very easily get 5 million DPS before on bleed lacerate glad and no more than that ever. And they added a lot of ways to get more. So if you even doubled that, which is on par with the melee rework, if you doubled lacerate glad to 10 million, it would feel really good and do like all mapping content pretty well. The reason? What's the reason? Because I'm dead? Because I'm freaking dead? How many stages does fucking charge dash have? Oh yeah, isn't it variable depending on how far you went? So like I remember like 5 to 6 being normal. This build is missing a lot of flat damage. When Prism Weave is plus 20%. Yeah, any class can use tinctures. You can only have one, and it only applies to melee. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know. Let's see what this looks like if my claws were good. It goes from 380 to 500,000. The goal is to spam max stages. To do ritual and just like charge in a circle and have it be pulsing everything in the ritual, basically. Oh yeah, because I have Fist of Lightning. So if I don't Fist of Lightning, then these claws are probably better. I'm sure as soon as I start putting on, like, let's just say I have frenzy charges. Yup. How would I get frenzy charges against bosses? Am I... I think I've been, spent the last league being spoiled playing Raider. Spoiled playing Raider. That's not how that works. I don't know. I think this, like, we have this at 800,000 damage, channeling max stacks, which is not hard. Like, you don't actually have... Charge dash is weird. If you charged into a wall and you stopped channeling, one stack is your max stacks. You don't have to actually channel it to, like, completion. You just need to, like, have been stopped moving. So it's very reasonable to always do that when you want to do it. 800,000 damage. We don't know if Heat Shiver is working with it. I'm just going to take it off. It's also a replica, so it'll take a while for them to even appear on the market. But even then, it's not really even adding that much damage. It's like 650 with a Prism Weave and 2 Essentia Sanguis, which are fairly cheap. Nobody uses them. At which point we'd be committed to Energy Shield. You're spread a little thin on points. As in not having too much left for health. We don't have a curse on. Yeah, I was trying to remember which mark is it that gives frenzy charges? Is it... Oh, fuck that. We're gonna have to do Assassin's Mark probably. How much is conductivity? Dude, conductivity slaps. We have no damage aura. Unreserved mana 16%. There's no reason we couldn't have a Herald of Ice. If we have precision level 10. Herald of Ice gonna make a comeback because try elemental damage. Lost hatred as an aura. And I don't know, just flat elemental aura. You might as well do Herald, I guess. I don't think it's... Okay, to clarify, if someone's going to quote me later, I don't think it's actually going to make that big of a comeback. So 870, I want to see if I had an elemental damage claw instead. We have fire, lightning, cold, and attack speed is all we're gonna have. And then we are tier, again, I'm gonna assume similar tier 4. I think these are easier to get. Dude, League Start, for some reason, like Tri-Ellie stuff is just everywhere. I think tier 3 on all is very reasonable. If I was gonna spend like 10C on the Sanguis anyway. So we're at 870. Put 2 of these on. It's a good sign that my damage didn't even go down. I think these claws are just easier to get. The damage isn't that different. Okay, and it's higher damage if we take off the crit chance. Okay, so with some simple tier 3-ish Ellie claws and a prism weave, we are at 900,000 damage. When we're assuming that my shock node functions at a bare minimum, that's 25 shocks applied, which is really like, dude, what's our attack speed? What's our hit rate? Attack rate 6. I feel slow for how fast I know charge dash could be. And we have faster attacks in it even. It feels really slow. Is that just because the base type I used is slow? No. Warcry buffs work on the mirages of General's Cry. I forgot my title is still saying I'm planning General's Cry. You get the buffs from Warcries, and they're called proxies. Just use your stats. You don't buff them like allies with a Warcry buff. They just use your stats, and they're not really counted as allies or minions, if that's what we're talking about. And if by chance we were also talking about charge dash, which technically has quote mirages, then you can buff yourself, but you can't exert charge dash. Yeah, it does say that. I'm still thinking about it, kind of. The reason we're POBing the charge dash is to see how it compares to the General's Cry thing. And I think already 95 skill points. We don't have armor. Again, I have like fucking nothing on this character. And it's the same DPS that the Chieftain was. And it's 50% life. Yeah, I don't care that much. I'm not getting that detailed to put all the life nodes in. I have a whole bunch of like random shit like leech that I probably don't need. And I'm assuming one less modifier on my tinctures that I have 2 of. I'm just assuming base level elemental damage tincture with crit multi on it. And then there's still one more mod line. I'm easily going to sustain them. I'm also not assuming... I mean, if this were a boss, we should have 100 shock effect on it. Oh, it doesn't let me overcap it. Because I probably have to give myself max shock effect for it to understand. Plus 15% to maximum effect of shock. Yeah, so if it's a boss and we don't know if they have their own durations still. 1.2 million. We're getting a little bit too much free damage out of it having frenzy charges enabled, but I know there's a way we could do it when we equip items. I'm willing to bet equipping items. I don't know. This was the initial plan. It seems fine. It's because charge dash when you're at max stages channeling is 660% effective damage, which is you're gonna deal damage. Tinctures are crazy. Free shock has decent defenses because we're gonna have bark skin. And even if we didn't want to have bark skin, taking Avatar of the Wilds would be pretty juiced. Pretty freaking juiced. The 5% base crit from the Mirage would also be a part on the Mirages. What's happening is you get the buff from the Warcry, so your Mirages get the buff because they're copying your stats. It's like they technically don't have the buff, but they have the benefit of it because you have it. The new anoint? You're gonna be more specific. Rising Tempest. There's a maximum to the shock effect, so this shouldn't do anything for that. And the Scorch one, I don't think this is worth an anoint. That it's more likely they have a new one. Tinctures have 40% increased effect while at 10 stacks of mana burn, which should be very sustainable for you. At 40% effect when you have 2 tinctures is really, really strong. Because the shocks have a maximum effect of 2. It's still that this is like the most ambiguous thing they've written in a long time, that I could like tell you 4 different ways to interpret this and they could all technically be correct. So I hope on Monday when they're back in the office they do some of their like clarification posts that they usually do. I'm sure they will. Yeah, man, I don't know. This is usually when I POB before league start, like this is as far as I go. I have like a general sense of like, this is kind of also not even assuming that the banner is making enemies take damage, which we're gonna have pretty often. There's a lot of under assumptions. Again, no armor. If you can get to like 1,000,000 damage without wearing gear, and it's looking positive. With all the extra stuff you can do of just like easily putting in crit multiplier jewels in the jewel sockets, or starting to trade stuff out for a cluster jewel instead. I think we might even be overkill on mana reservation. I think my biggest bottleneck is flat added damage. So what happened? How much damage is a ring that just has flat damage? Not a lot. I mean, for this being tier 5, like, dude, if we had 16% total damage. Yep. And then if you're getting like fucking 10% per gear slot, pretty good. Oh yeah, that too. I think like it's really tempting to anoint the tincture thing. I think a really good anoint for basically everybody is like back in the tribal fury days, where everybody who is melee would anoint that. I'm thinking Veteran's Wrath. Gain 2 rage on melee hit is pretty easy to keep up. And then you ramp up to just 30% more damage. It's like having a support gem. And if you're in this area, there like you would always take that. I think the other ones are not quite as good. No, they're all max rage. So you can only gain rage once every Why is that not giving me any damage? What's going on there? Attack speed bonus from dual wielding is doubled while wielding 2 claws. While I'm wielding 2 claws. What the fuck? It's not giving me attack speed. Charge dash doing something weird. Yeah, based on your attack speed. I was also curious if, because Charged S has a high damage hit on release, that you might even be able to get Oath of Summer to have decent ignites. Yeah, I am absolutely fucking clueless on that. Let me type in 10% more attack speed. The attack speed is really important with it to scale the shock effect as quickly as you can. I feel like I made these claws weird. I don't know, they're still claws. Okie doke. Okie doke. It's over. I still don't know what I'm gonna play. Yeah, General's Cry did suck. That is true. That's what I was seeing. And Charge Dash looks good. Like, the other big benefits is you don't have to invest in, like, strike range, melee attack range, melee splash. You don't have to do all that shit. I still don't know, though. I don't know. It just feels like I'm missing something. I'm gonna return to my strategy of not thinking about it again until Wednesday after there's been a few more teasers of, like, seeing what Crushing Fist does. And then I have two POBs made, so... And I could also just pivot and do Impale Champ and have it, like, just be extremely straightforward. Yeah, Impale Champ looks sick. Anyway, I could honestly just sit here for fucking hours, but I'm, like, beyond the point of I'm not really even doing anything anymore. I don't have anything else I want to investigate. I kind of figured out everything. Bye-bye. I gotta go.